Hello friends, welcome to G-Centric. So in this lecture we will see about the phases, which is a new topic. Okay. So in the previous lectures we have completed what do we mean by average value and what do we mean by RMS value. Also in the first lecture of this we have seen the leading and lagging concept, which was based on the phasor itself. Now we will come on to the phasor diagrams. So basically it is nothing but the phasor is a representation of a, it is nothing but representation of a complex form. Okay. So in the complex form what we will have? It is nothing but two parts in this also. Suppose we have got something like x plus I y. So this x is nothing but we have got real part and this is imaginary part. Okay. So this is also nothing but again complex has got two parts, okay, which represents the magnitude, or we will also call it as amplitude. Okay. So what is the second part? It is nothing but the phase, that is again we can call it as angle. Okay. So this complex form can be we can divide it into two parts. Okay, that is one is magnitude, or we will call it as amplitude also. The second part is the angle or the phase. Okay, so now this representation of phases we can do it in two forms. First one is the rectangular form. Okay, this we will also call it as Cartesian form. Cartesian form. Okay. The second type is what we will call polar form, or for this also we can call it as exponential form. Okay. So these are the two types of representation of this phases. Okay, we can either represent it in the form of rectangular, or we can call it as Cartesian form, and the other one is polar form or exponential form. Okay, so now we will see how this we can convert from time domain to phasor domain. So in time domain we will take the sinusoidal waveform, and in the phasor domain we will take a phasor representation. So how we will see how we can represent it with the help of the sinusoidal waveform. Here comes the concept of leading and lagging. Okay, and we will see what is the direction of the phasor also. So if I draw a sinusoidal signal, okay, so this is the sinusoidal signal which has got 0 here. Okay, this is the maximum amplitude, whether it can be either voltage or current. Okay, so here it is pi by 2, this is pi, and here it is 2 pi. So in this when we write pi, it may be of two types. One is in degrees, that is 180 degree, or the other value is in radians, that is 3.14. Okay, or it is nothing but 22 by 7. So in most of the time we will represent it with degrees. Okay, so here what it is nothing but the pi representation is 180 degree. So 180 by 2 will give you 90 degree, which is half of this 180 degree. So this how we can represent it in the form of phasor, we will see that. Now we will take the maximum, okay, and the minimum. Okay, if it is something like Vm, this is minus Vm. Okay, so now I will draw a circle. Okay, I will draw a circle in which I have got one axis. Okay, this is y and this is x axis. So in this case, what is this y axis called as? Imaginary. It is called as imaginary axis. In this it is called as y axis is nothing but real axis. Okay. Now if I have to represent this one, This is the maximum and here it is the 0 degree. From 0 to pi it is 0 degree. Okay. Now this is 90 degree. Okay, this represents 90 degree. Now half of this 90 degree is nothing but 45 degrees or pi by 4. Okay, so this 45 degrees, if I reflect it on this side, then I will get here a point intersecting which divides this 90 degree with 45 degree. So this arrow is also 45 degree, and here the angle is also 45 degree. So now how is this phasor moving? In this direction. Okay, so when it is moving in this direction, it is nothing but anti-clockwise. Okay, so this is anti-clockwise direction. So what we can conclude is that, so even if we will draw all of these angles, then it will move on. Okay, it will complete one circle. So it is nothing but phasors always move in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so it is nothing but positive angle. Okay, positive. Then this is called as plus j omega axis and minus j omega axis. So what is plus j and minus j? Plus j represents the plus 90 degree angle and minus j represents the minus 90 degree angle. Okay, so this is how we represent the phasor axis. Okay, so now we will see there are some of the important formulas based on this. Okay, this is nothing but what we will call it as time domain. So what would we do? From time domain to, we have converted it into phasor representation, or we will call it as phasor domain. Okay, so this is in the time domain and this is in the phasor domain. So we will see some of the conversions based on phasor domain to, time domain to phasor domain. Okay, coming to this one, we will see the formulas. Okay, so these two are given in time domain. We need to convert it into phasor domain. So what we will do, how we will write the phasor? Okay, just we will take the amplitude with the angle. So what is the amplitude or magnitude here with respect to the first one? It is Vm. Okay, this is for the first one. And what is the angle? It is 5 degrees. So it is in cos. Okay, it is in the cosine. Now here it is, second one is sine, but we have to take only one type of sinusoid, that is either in sine or cos. But we will have sine, we have already taken it as cos. So how we will be convert? For this also magnitude is same, but there will be a lag of 90 degrees. Okay. So this is how we represent it in the phasor domain. Now if it is in, this is for voltage. If it is in current, then it will also be having the same formula, but the only representation changes. Okay, so we have Vm cos omega t plus phi, and we have sin omega t plus phi. So how do we represent this in the phasor form or phasor domain or frequency domain? So here also we have got Im, this is Im. Okay, this is Im. This is the amplitude with 5 degree. Then we have to change it into either cos or sine. We are changing sine to cos, so it will be 5 minus 90 degrees. Okay, so this is the representation of the time domain to phasor domain for these formulas. Okay, so we will see how we will represent it in the rectangular and Cartesian plane or the polar form. Okay, so rectangular is the Cartesian, we can call it either way, and we have got one more, that is polar form, we can also call it as exponential form. Okay, so we will see the representation of them in the rectangular form. So let me rub this one. So for the rectangular form, okay, I will write it in the rectangular form. So how do we represent it? It is nothing but, we always know, so if there is function z, then it is a function of x and y. So in this case, what is real part and what is imaginary part? This is the real part and this is the, whichever with I is there, that will become the imaginary part. So now if I have to represent it in the Cartesian form, then I will take x axis and y axis. Here is the real axis and the y axis is nothing but the imaginary axis. Imaginary axis. Now I can represent this by, this is x, which is real part having some value, then we have got imaginary part having some value. So this represents the z, which is nothing but x plus I y. Okay, so this is the representation of the Cartesian form or the rectangular form. So if we have to represent this in the form of polar form, then we will do it as polar form as second one. Okay, so we will represent it as e to the power I theta. Okay, so this is in the exponential form. We will write it here as j or exponential form. Okay, so this is in the form of the exponential. Now if we have to write in the form of polar, okay, both are same, but we will represent it with r. Okay, so this r, we have, if we have to calculate the value of r, we will take this x square plus y square. So if you see in the Cartesian, we have got x and y. So for getting it into the polar form, we will take this r is equal to under square root of x square plus y square. Okay, so if we have to get the angle now, that is theta. So how will we get theta? Tan inverse of y by x. How did we get this? This is the angle of theta. Okay, so now, okay, so this represents y because both are parallel and they have same magnitude. This is y. So this perpendicular by base is nothing but tan theta. Okay, so if we want only theta, then we will take tan inverse of y by x. Okay, so this is the representation of exponential form. So in polar form, just we will write the magnitude, okay, with angle theta. Okay, so that is the representation in the polar form. So both are same. Now how do you expand this one? E power I theta is nothing but cos theta plus I sin theta, or if you can write it as j also. Okay, so we will take it as j only, which means j is plus 90 minus j is minus 90 degree with an amplitude of 1. Okay, so we will write it as 1 angle 90 if it is positive. If it is negative, then we will write it as 1 angle 90 degree with negative sign. Okay, so this is about the rectangular form, polar form, conversion of time domain to phasor domain we have seen. So now we will see which is left, one more concept, that is the instantaneous power as well as the average power. Okay, coming to the instantaneous power. So we will take the magnitude of V of t as, or if V of t is given by Vm sin omega t, and we have got I of t as Im sin omega t. Okay, this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. We have given both the values. So now what we will do, we know the formula of power at the point at time t. So this is, that is why we will call it as instantaneous power. So it is nothing but V of t into I of t. V of t into I of t. So I will substitute equation 1 and equation 2 in this power formula, that is Vm sin omega t into Im sin omega t. So what will I get? Vm into Im sin square omega t. Okay, so now this sin square omega t, I can write it as Vm into Im 1 by 2 or 1 minus cos 2 omega t. Okay, so this we have seen in the formula. Okay, this trigonometric formula. So now I will subtract it out. Vm into Im by 2 minus Vm into Im by 2 into cos 2 omega t. Okay, so this is the instantaneous power. So now instantaneous power, where we have got the t term here. Okay, omega t is here. So this is nothing but, every time we can note a sentence that whenever you calculate the instantaneous power, this is nothing but the frequency. Okay, so what we can write here is that instantaneous power frequency, okay, this because it is related to omega t, will be always twice the, you can see here we have got 2 here and here is the omega t. So it is 2 times of omega t. So whether it is related to voltage or current, both, okay. So it will be 2 times of voltage or current frequency. Every time if someone asks the instantaneous power frequency, okay, if someone asks you what is the instantaneous power frequency, then it will be 2 times of the voltage or current frequency. Okay, so this is the important point to be noted in the instantaneous power. So now we will come to the average power. So average power, this is the P of t. So how we will calculate the average power? Integration over time period 2 pi, okay, assuming it to be the full sinusoidal wave. Okay, so we will write it as P of t into d omega t or dt. So it is dt. Okay, so that is the average power. Now we will take the, substitute this value here. Okay, I will directly substitute here, it is d omega t. So Vm 1 by 2 pi from 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so Vm into Im by 2 minus Vm Im by 2 into cos 2 omega t into d omega t. So now if I integrate this one cos term, it will become minus. So when it is minus, if I substitute the upper limit, that is 2 pi, this whole term will be 0. Okay, sin pi or sin 2 pi will be 0. So we are only left with 1 upon 2 pi from 0 to 2 pi Vm Im by 2 to dt. Okay, sorry, d omega t. So now if I do it, what I will get? 1 by 2 pi. So Vm into Im omega t upon 2. Okay, so this is the integration from the limits 0 to 2 pi. Now I will substitute the value of 2 pi here. Okay, so what will I get? This 2 pi gets cancelled and I will be left with Vm into Im over 2. Okay, so this is the average power. So I will rub it. So what we have got? Vm into Im upon 2 is the average power. So V average, P average is equal to Vm into Im upon 2. So now from here it is important. So this 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2. So Vm into Im root 2 into root 2. Okay. So this Vm over root 2 and this Im over root 2 is nothing but Vrms into Irms. So we have already seen that whatever voltage and current we get in a home or supply is the RMS value, but whatever we get the power is the average value. Okay, so that is the meaning of this Vrms into Irms, and the power what we will get, it is not the RMS value, it is always the average value. So now we will see next the waveform of the average value. Okay, so to see that, we will draw a sinusoidal wave for both the current and voltage. Okay, so I will draw it here. Okay, what is V of t? Okay, so here is, this is black represents the V of t, which is okay Vm sin omega t. Next, what is I of t? I will represent it with red color. Okay, so it will be almost same magnitude. So this is I of t. Okay, now this is nothing but the instantaneous power value. Okay, we will take the Vrms and Irms, that is first we will multiply it Vm into Im. Okay, so this is the magnitude Vm and this I has got the magnitude Im. So when we multiply both of them, there will be a step, okay, increase in the magnitude. Okay, so now this is negative, V of t is negative, I of t is negative, so negative into negative, what we will get? Again positive. So this is positive with the increased magnitude Vm into Im, at that instant. So now to represent the average power, I have to divide it by 2. Okay, so when I divide it by 2, so this line will give me the average value of the power. Okay, so how do we represent the average value? We will take the multiplication of the Vm and Im magnitude, which will be double of this one. Okay, so it will be increase in the amplitude. Once it is increase in the amplitude, this negative will also be negative into negative will become positive. So the negative wave will also come in the positive side. So half of that will be the P average, because we have Vm into Im over 2. Okay, so this is about the phasor, basic knowledge of the phasor. So next we will see in the next lecture what are the elements. For the different elements we will see how we can represent the phasor diagram. Okay, thank you.